down yet between big business and government guidelines to reopen. So yes, Elon Musk tweeting this late on Monday, saying he is restarting the Alameda production and goes against the county rules. I will be on the line with everyone else, and if anyone is interested or arrested, I ask that it only be me. So Musk is upset that his only car factory in America in Fremont County has been shut down, while his rivals in Michigan, General Motors and Ford, have been allowed to restart manufacturing on Monday next week. He says what Alameda is doing right now goes against Governor Gavin Newsom's guidelines on reopening, which essentially allows manufacturing to restart. And he says that these stay-in-place orders are fascist and it goes against the American way. Now, as for business itself, we know that Tesla's parking lot has been full. Furloughed workers have been asked to come back, and they will submit a specific site plan later on today. But Alameda County says you still need our permission, and it might come with misdemeanor charges along with it.
That should be fun.
Start reopening, there will be more safety precautions involved. So staff health checks, that also means limited club capacity. So for members, that means only 3 90-minute workouts each week. Additional workouts are available for booking, but only on a standby basis. So you have to wear personal protective gear, contactless check-ins, and masks when you're not working out. Now, we have Equinox reopening, but also Gold's Gym, which actually filed for bankruptcy, also doing that in 23 locations as well across Tennessee, Wyoming, and other states that have, again, I guess, restarted their economies. And SoulCycle has also started reopening some of their gyms and some of their facilities, but again, with safety precautions in place. Orange Theory doing that in Georgia. But if you're an Equinox gym member, and I used to be one paying $300 a month, I would be a little upset having to limit my workouts to only 3 appointments a week.
$300 a month, did you say?
Yeah, that was for the global gym membership, meaning you can have access to all Equinox gyms around the world. If I was limited to only 3 workouts a week and then I'm on a standby basis after that, I think I would be a little bit upset in terms of where my money is being spent.
I understand entirely. $300 a month is $300 a month.
All right, on the Strip, since we know that Caesars has been accepting reservations for May 15th and beyond, the Las Vegas Strip has been shut since mid-March, and now the governor of Nevada hasn't actually given a game plan in terms of when they will actually open, but some expect that smaller casinos like Caesars might restart on May 15th, along with the other businesses as well along the Strip. But the big casinos are being a little bit more conservative. The likes of, for instance, Wynn is penning in a May 22nd reopening. MGM being a lot more conservative, saying that they'll open on June the 1st. But look, Caesars went into bankruptcy a few years ago in 2017. They're burning through intense cash and losing about $9.3 million a day. And so some would say that Caesars, because they only have liquidity of just $2.5 billion, the weakest of the bunch, and probably wants to restart as soon as possible.
I just want to know what it's going to look like around the craps table when you get.
Well, there'll be less people. People will be wearing masks. The dealers will be wearing gloves and masks themselves. And you have temperature checks expected to get into casino. Also, they're looking for possibly a testing site nearby along the Las Vegas Strip. So yes, things are definitely going to look a lot different for the 40 million that travel to Vegas each and every year. I'll tell you that Open Table says that it's down significantly still because there are capacity constraints. Only maybe 25 to 50% of customers are allowed back in. So let's start with Georgia, down 92% in terms of restaurant operations. Utah down 91%. Nebraska down 90%. South Carolina down 89%. Tennessee, Texas also down about 80% each. And Oklahoma rounds it out down 82%. As I mentioned to you, there are constraints. So if Georgia is reopened, but only 10 patrons are allowed within 500 square feet. In Texas, only 25% capacity allowed in the restaurant. Tennessee down 50%. Nashville only joined on reopening on Monday. And again, people are coming back, and I think that's pretty much the expectation that we're not going to get back to normal life right away.
Yeah, I think that was the expectation, but so long as we're coming back from the absolute lows of mid-April, and I think that is true to say, we're coming back from there if you've reopened.
Making a takeover approach for its much smaller player, but it would combine the two of the largest players when it comes to meal delivery. So we know Uber's worth around $55 billion. Grub has a market cap of $4.5 billion. And it's an interesting proposition. According to the Wall Street Journal, it's an all-stock combination that's being proposed right now by Uber. And this comes at a time when we know that meal delivery has really picked up some 50% in the first quarter of this year from Uber Eats and up some 80% in the month of April. And we know that Grub needs needs cash. Uber also needs money as well. But it looks like a combination of the two in this new technology, in this new service. It's aggressive, opportunistic, probably in this time. But, some say, I don't know, it doesn't make sense for the stock, given that ride hailing is still the majority of Uber's sales and its revenue. It's down 80% so far this year.
Yeah, but both stocks are up.
They do, and they think that prices have actually bottomed. This is according to Energy Transfer, which is a big pipeline giant. So they pipe a lot of the oil that they produce. And they say that the Permian Basin has reopened some of their oil wells once again. Just around 8% of the oil volume that was shut at the start of this month. And 25% of that, they say, has now come back online. Have we seen the worst of oil prices? Yes, they say, given that we saw negative prices for the first time in history for the front month contract. And where do they see oil prices going? Maybe around high 20s to the low 30s seems about right for a lot of these oil drillers to restart production. Now, we know that President Trump, for his part, says that oil production should be, I guess, trimmed by 2 million barrels in order to keep the prices high for everybody to survive. But a lot of people say you're not going to get 2 million alone here in the U.S. So far, only 600,000 barrels have been committed to be taken off the market.
Okay, they want more. Okay, we'll see.